All right, what up, Who That Nation? This is Marley G back at y'all on another episode of No Captain Filter Saints. Let's go ahead on and talk about this Saints versus Panthers game, man. Game day tomorrow, the moment we've been waiting on finally coming. I think, I think, I think the Saints gonna pull off the win, man. Week one, I feel like they back against the wall already in week one, which is crazy against the Panthers in a must-win game against the Panthers, which is crazy. That lets you know about what a team at right now so early in the season. Like that's just a detriment to where the team is at. What up, Jerry? What up, Hoodie Jude? I got the Saints winning this game though. I got the Saints winning 23-10. Maybe 20-10, but 23-10, maybe 24, but I'm gonna go with 23. You know. I think the Saints gonna either score from 20 to 24 points. I'm gonna just go right there in the middle. I'm gonna go 23. I think we beat these teams, this team 23-10. I think it's gonna be a real tough defensive game throughout the game, but I think the Saints gonna just pull away, towards the fourth quarter off of Panthers' mistake, and it's gonna pull away at the end, man, and just make the score look, you know, at least more respectable on the Saints side of the football. Um, I think Chase Young going to look real good. He's been looking good all through camp. He's been looking very healthy. I think we're going to come up in there and just pull out the win because the back is against the wall. Like the morale of the city, the morale of the fan base is just kind of low. A lot of people are just having a wait and see approach to this team. They got some optimistics out there. They got some pessimistics out there. But I think a large majority is just going on a wait and see approach. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You can't fool me a third time. So a lot of people are within their right to have a wait and see approach. I think Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, they're going to have to go out there and just, win the fan base over. Me personally, it's going to take way more than a week one victory against the Panthers to win me over. Me, my mind already set up on them guys. I feel like they're not the answer to win us a Super Bowl. If the goal is to win a Super Bowl, I don't think we can do it with those guys. If that's the goal, just last night we watched the Philadelphia Eagles take on the Green Bay Packers. Hopefully Jordan Love is okay, man. That young brother balled out last season. I would hate to see a young talent like that just miss the whole season or a large portion of the season off of an injury, especially 5 seconds left in the game. But one thing I did see out there was Zach Bond. Zach Bond was all over the field. Say what you want about him making a lot of tackles. I know a lot of people are comparing it to Stephon Anthony, saying, oh, well, Stephon Anthony made a lot of tackles, but this man made a game-winning tackle, first of all, and he had another second. And he was just sideline to sideline all over the field, being very instinctive. And before this game even happened, I said, watch Zach Bond go to the Eagles, and he have a good year. Like, he's going to get utilized right, and that's exactly what happened. He went to the Eagles, and they utilized him the way he should be utilized. But defensive guru, Dennis Allen, couldn't figure it out. For whatever reason, we needed a pass rush, and we had Zach Bond right there, and we couldn't figure out how to use him. Same way we had Jimmy Graham scoring touchdowns in the red zone every time we gave him a shot, but Jimmy Graham just found his way on the bench. In game desperation situations, might I add. Yes, Pete Carmichael was the offensive coordinator. Yes, Dennis Allen might give him full reign, but at the same time, sometimes you got to step in as the head coach and say, man, get this guy involved. It's highly probable that this guy is going to get us a first down or a touchdown in the red zone. Get him involved. Figure out a way to get this guy involved. And Dennis Allen didn't do it. So that's why I don't like him as a head coach. So we seen it yet again with Zach Bond, a guy from our team that, just been developing on our roster, go to another team and they just reap the rewards of the development that we gave to a player. Now he's probably going to be due for a good contract year. We're going to see what's going to happen. I predict that he have a solid year, though. I ain't saying he probably going to go too crazy, but he going to have a solid year. Um, Another thing I want to say is the offensive line. Trevor Penning, they're gonna have him most likely go up against Jadeveon Clowney, but Eric McCoy, he gonna also have his hands full with Derrick Brown. Do y'all know that Derrick Brown had over 100 tackles at the defensive tackle position? That's a very tall feat. Like that's not common in the NFL. Like that dude right there is a beast. So he's going to be lined up against Eric McCoy. He's going to be lined up against probably Cesar Ruiz a lot. And whoever's going to play the left guard. I'm not sure if it's going to be Lucas Patrick. I know Nick Zelda been practicing lately. So I don't know who's going to be right there. But we're going to have to see. But, it ain't going to just be Clowney going to be giving this offensive line a hard time. So don't just think it's just gonna be Trevor Penning out there. Plus, it's gonna be week 1. Everybody still got to get acclimated to each other. Everybody got to still have time to gel. We still gonna have to, work our way through this offense, this new scheme, and figure things out. You know, we've seen contenders out there just, ain't just been looking too good in the first half. You know, Packers, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Ravens. You know, and I see people saying, "Oh well, the Ravens, they still making it work with a few players." But at the same time, yes, the Ravens offensive line ain't look good, but the difference is they got the fastest quarterback in the league, and on top of that, an elite quarterback. That's the difference, and a good head coach. You know, no different than when Cam Newton put up an MVP season with Philly Brown and Ted Ginn. Not no good receivers, but you got an elite mobile quarterback. When you got an elite mobile quarterback that can escape the pocket and extend the play, when your receivers ain't all that, you could have time to make them get open. But I expect Taysom Hill to have a good game. I expect Taysom Hill, if you're doing any type of fantasy lineups or anything of that nature, put Taysom Hill down there in every lineup for this game. I expect him to have a good game rushing. I expect him probably to, make a catch or two. Like, we're gonna utilize him in ways that, well, I ain't gonna say we're gonna utilize him in ways that we haven't, but we're gonna utilize him even more. I feel like he's gonna be more implemented in the game than we ever seen, you know, as he should be, because we need help. We need help at wide receiver. We need help at tight end. Dallin Holker, he unfortunately not gonna play. Look like, so it's gonna be Jawan Johnson out there, and Jawan Johnson, he need to have a bounce back year because he got a lot to prove. Um, When it comes to Chris Olave, he's going to be lined up out there with J.C. Horn. When J.C. Horn is healthy, that man is a good ass cornerback. So it ain't gonna be just easy for Olave out there. But Olave is talented too. So J.C. gonna have his fair share of tough matchups as well. Rashid Shaheed, be looking for him to have a possibly big day. You know, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna have J.C. Horn just follow Olave around the whole game. But Rashid Shaheed, be looking for him to have a big day. Him and Taysom. Alvin Kamara, he probably have a tough game, because they got Shaq Thompson out there, very athletic linebacker. Like I said, they got Derrick Brown out there. He's very good at stopping the run. Um, it's gonna be hard for Alvin to find some holes. It just really depends on the offensive line with Alvin, and not only the offensive line, how creative Clint Kubiak gonna get with him. Like if Alvin get the ball out the backfield and be getting like screens and be getting like plays that option routes and all that from Derek Carr, then yeah, Alvin gonna have a big day probably. But we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see when it comes to Alvin and the offensive line. Like that's something that's just so much dependable on something else. So that's gonna remain to be seen. Um, yeah, man, we got Blake Groupie out there. He's gonna be kicking. I feel like he's gonna need to make all his kicks. This is gonna be a tough, close game. Blake Groupie gonna have to make all his kicks. The new punter, he's gonna have to flip the field and give the defense good field position. This is gonna be a defensive game in the first half. So you want to get good field position when it comes to them punts. You want to get the defense. Don't be on the field a lot. Have the offense sustain drives. Don't go 3-and-out. And if they could do that, the defense can rest. Because I don't care how good your defense is. If they on the field a lot, they're going to get tired. You know, we seen it with the Green Bay game last year. They're going to get tired. You know, if the offense start going 3-0, no matter how good you is, stamina a motherfucker. Stamina is a motherfucker. And if you constantly going back on the field because your offense is going to 3-0, eventually a big play is bound to happen. And speaking of big plays, you know, our safety position, I don't know who's going to be starting out of Jordan Howden and Will Harris. I think it's going to be Jordan Howden. But if Jordan Howden's starting, the good thing about it, they don't really have no good tight ends. You know, when it comes to the Packers, they ain't really got no good tight ends. They got Leggett. He could make some plays, when it comes to Yak. They got Deontay Johnson. He's a pretty good wide receiver. He's solid. You got Mingo. It's hard for him to get separation, but he's pretty physical. But I feel like our secondary could stop them. Now, if they had a good tight end, they probably could be a matchup problem for our safeties. Tyron is getting old, and Jordan Howard is unexperienced. So, but I don't think they can exploit that because I don't feel like they got a good tight end. Now, Bryce Young, we're going to have to get to Bryce Young. Like, defensive guru, quote unquote, what y'all call Dennis Allen. He didn't have Zach Bond out there looking good. He didn't utilize Zach Bond. So hopefully he don't have Bryce Young out there looking like Josh Dobbs. Because if he do, to hell with him. Because that dude got to go. Like if everybody keeps saying, oh, well, he's good for the defense, if he's good for the defense, if Bryce Young look like Josh Dobbs out there with this new head coach, because remember, this head coach is the same guy who got Geno Smith's career revived. This is the same guy who got Baker Mayfield career revived. So if he could do that with Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield, he probably could do it with the number one pick in the draft. Just a season ago. So, that's what I got to say about that. Let me go through the comments real quick. You got Booker says, who that? You got Hoodie Jupe said, I'm going to try and make a nice intro for you on the channel. If you don't mind me making one, I will give your viewers some time to load in and before you actually get to talk about the topic. Oh, I'm going to try to make a nice intro for you. Oh, okay, Hoodie, whatever. I'm saying that's cool with me. That's fine. And thanks for the advice. Let's see. Jerry G says Saints W on Sunday. Oh yeah, Jerry, I got the Saints with the dub too. Yeah, Hoodie, I'm just making a short video. I ain't about to be on this too long. I was just coming to get my thoughts real quick. I was running some errands today before I go to work, so this wasn't gonna be too much of a long video. I was just gonna pop in and pop out. Let's see. Who's that big brother? Oh yeah, who that big brother? Yeah, what up, Wallace? Yeah, man, Wallace. I got the Saints winning against the Panthers, man. I know you don't like when I pick a division rival over us, but I actually got the Saints winning the first game against the Panthers, man. I got us winning 23-10, man. So hope that make your day, Wallace. I picked the Saints to win the game. We got a Booker says, I think this is gonna be a close game. Yeah, man. Everybody thinks it's gonna be a close game, bro. A lot of people don't really feel like the Saints are just gonna dominate and roll over the Packers just in week one of the season. They're gonna have some stuff to figure out. We're gonna have some stuff to figure out. It's gonna be fun though. I really feel like the defense is gonna be exciting to watch. Even if the offense is getting to struggles, it's going to be real fun just looking at that defense. It's going to be fun looking at Lattimore, Alante Taylor. He's been improving. He's been the most improved player probably on the Saints team. So he's embracing that slot corner role now. We got Kool-Aid McKinstry out there. He just changed his number to number 14. A lot of people feel like he probably should have just kept the number he originally had. But yeah, man. We got Adebo. He's in the contract year, so you already know he gonna ball out. He want that pay. He want that bread. And one thing about Adebo, I don't know, it's gonna be hard to keep Sean and Adebo because if you ain't noticed, Jalen Ramsey, I think he just got paid again, an extension, and the price is just going up. So they might want to pay Adebo before he just have another season that ball out and he gonna just play his way up out of New Orleans. Because you can't forget, you're still gonna have to pay Chase. Alvin Kamara still ain't get his contract yet. What else? You're gonna have to pay Rashid Shaheed again. They just gave him a small deal for now. You know, Olave, he's going to be coming up. Like a lot of these guys going to have to get paid. So that's why I say in the next year or two, don't be surprised if this team look very different. The Taysom Hills of the world, the Alvin Kamaras of the world, Marshall Lattimore, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, uh, Cam Jordan. Don't be surprised if these guys gone in a year or two. Like this team is about to look very different. And if Dennis Allen can't win with proven vets right now, that's ready to win right now, just imagine what he's gonna look like in a full rebuild. We in a soft rebuild right now, believe it or not, who that nation. Just imagine what Dennis Allen as a head coach gonna look like in a full rebuild when he just got nothing but young players. Like those leaders in that locker room, they basically help Dennis Allen when it comes to leadership. Well, then every veteran do that when it comes to the locker room, and you know, being like another coach on the field or another coach in the locker room. But it's even more penciled than when it comes to Dennis Allen. I believe, that's just me because I already know what Dennis Allen motivational speech will be. It'll go something like, "Well, look, listen, guys, we were Green Bay, 17 blown game away from being in the playoffs and winning the division. Listen, it's hard to win in this league. No, motherfucker, it's hard for you to win in this league. Any other coach would have won that division last year. I don't care what nobody say. With that scheduled cakewalk we had, any other coach would have won that division, bro. That's just me. Yeah, let me see. 28-10 Saints win. Yeah, man. 28-10 Saints winning by 18 points, Wallace. I don't know, man. I think 13 is a good number for them, but I wouldn't go too far off from 10 points. 10 to 14 points, I think that's like a good range right there for a Saints W. Now, the Panthers, they did get good inside. Bryce Young, he's a very small quarterback. When it came to Drew Brees, what you wanted to do was get help in that interior of the offensive line. You wanted to make sure Drew Brees was upright in the middle. So if Drew Brees had to extend the pocket, he'll just, scramble out to the right or scramble out to the left. But you definitely can't, bring that pressure up to the middle of Drew Brees by him being so small. And I think that's the same approach they did with the Panthers. They went out and had got John Hunt or something like that, and they went and got somebody else named Lewis. Two good, pretty solid guards, man. They got somebody named Hunt and somebody named Lewis. I don't know their first names by heart like that, but I know Hunt is very good. And Lewis, he's pretty solid as well, I believe his name. Um, they also had got additions with Leggett. He's a very good, yak player when it comes to the draft, catching the ball and getting upfield. Deontay Johnson, he's a pretty good solid wide receiver. They got Clowney to make up for losing Brian Burns, but they did lose Louisville. So, that defense took a step back. Make no mistake about it. But if they could just keep JC Horn healthy throughout the season, even though they took a step back, JC Horn would just make that whole defense. It just changes it. It's just kind of like Marshall Lattimore. When you just got a guy that can shadow the whole side of the field, then your whole defense take a whole nother leap. I'm looking for Bryce Young to have a bounce back type of year. Yeah, I mean, that was his rookie year. I mean, when you have a rookie, bro, and you on a terrible team, that's how rookies look. Like everybody not gonna look like a CJ Stroud. Like I think we got into this era where they want people to just look good off the bus, and that ain't gonna be the case for a lot of people. Especially given the situation. You know, but that's why I'm on the side where I want Spence Rattler to just take his time, chill, sit on the bench for this year, learn how to be a professional, and then he come in. After we add some weapons to the offense, after we add some, you know, nice players on the offensive line, giving them time. Like I don't want him to just come in and he be running for his life, trying to make a play and trying to play hero ball. Like nah, man, just wait a year, thug it out, and your time gonna be coming. Let Derek Carr go take the punishment. Let Derek Carr and Dennis Allen go down with this ship. I don't want to. I don't even want to have them excuse to say, "Oh well, Derek Carr got hurt. That's why I give him another chance." Nah, I want Derek Carr to play the whole season. You know, I don't want no injury excuses. I don't hear no injury excuses from nobody in the Saints fan base this year. I don't hear nothing. They had all the time in the world to go get this offensive line right. They knew what was going on with Ryan Ramczyk. They knew what was going on with Trevor Penning. You had all the time in the world to get this offensive line right. You ain't do enough. You had all the time in the world to go get another wide receiver. You ain't do enough. You know, I guess they felt comfortable with Dallin Holker at tight end. So I ain't gonna really be too much, getting on about the tight end position. Like we got a good tight end uh position by committee. We got Foster, he's okay. We got Jawan Johnson, he's okay, but he still probably have a little bit of untapped potential. We got Holker, who has a lot of untapped potential, and Taysom Hill. So we got a good tight end run by committee. You know, what the running backs gonna do, they gonna have to show me. I feel good about Alvin Kamara, but at the same time, the offensive line gonna have to block for him. As good as he is, the offensive line still gonna have to block. Jamal Williams, if he could just run the ball in goal line situations and short yardage situations, that's cool with me. Taysom Hill, he can run the ball out the backfield. As much as injuries he's had, and even though he's being like 34, 35, Taysom Hill still got some wheels. He could get the ball in the field. I don't care what nobody say. He ain't gonna shake and bake you, but he will run over you, and he will make you think twice about tackling him in open field. Um, you got Kendra Miller. I think the dude is talented. He just gotta get on the field to show it. Get on the field to show it. Dennis Allen have been calling you out. Get on the field and show it. You know, uh, it's gonna be fun to see Willie Gay out there. He gonna be bringing the juice. A lot of people are comparing him to our duo that we had with Demario and Quan Alexander. That's gonna be fun to see. So it's gonna be something, bro. But I ain't gonna be too much long. I just wanted to get up in here and talk about the game real quick. I'm gonna make another video game day. We're gonna talk about the game before the game, we're gonna talk about the game after the game, and we're gonna take a deep dive into the outcome. But man, y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Y'all stay safe out there. And who that, man?